We have been back in America for a little over a month now. This has given us plenty of time to get to know our home country again, as well as experience a lot of reverse culture shock. Before we begin though, why don't you go ahead and leave a comment down below telling us what kind of reverse culture shock you've experienced going back home to your own country.
First off, cars. When we moved back to America, we thought we would not own a car because we relied solely on public transit when we were living in Korea, and we just wanted to bring that back with us to America.
In our little town in Korea, we could walk to the grocery store, we could walk to the bakery, I walked to work.
Everything within like 2 minutes of our front door.
And so to move back to a place here where you walk 30 minutes in either direction and it's literally just houses. There's not a single convenience store or mart or anything, just houses. That's been a big reverse culture shock. And it makes me annoyed because we're kind of forced to own a car.
Another major reverse culture shock we've experienced is how people here talk to you. We're totally not used to making eye contact with people as you pass by, or them smiling or nodding.
We're talking strangers.
Yeah, strangers. You're in a grocery line. They're in front of you, you're behind them, and you're just waiting, and then they'll just start talking to you, and you're like, why are you talking to me? What do you want from me? What am I supposed to say to you? Oh no, now I have to think. So they think I'm super rude because as soon as they smile, I'm like,
Get the Korean way. The Korean way is you stare at someone until they look at you and then you do this. Even though you're super obviously staring. Ajushi style. It's like...
But the Ajushis don't even look away.
Oh, that's true.
They don't look away. They feel no shame.
Yeah. If you've seen our reverse culture shock video about when we moved to Korea, I'll probably put a link up here. A big thing for me was that Korean portion sizes were really small, and so I wasn't used to that and I was always hungry. Well, now I'm experiencing the opposite of that because we came back to America, and now in America, there's way too much food. For example, I went out to eat at this Mexican restaurant, which I love so much, and I know that I was able to eat the portion sizes there no problem prior to our trip to Korea. But since moving back, we went out to eat, and I couldn't eat more than half of the portion. You got like 3 enchiladas, and you got beans, and you got rice, and there was so much food, I didn't know what to do with it all. In Korea, when people are queuing, they stand right behind each other, like person, 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 person. I have been standing behind someone in line in Korea for the bus, and they're here, I have my phone, and my phone is literally touching them. That's how close you stand. That is to prevent people from cutting in line, because in Korea, people like to cut in line, especially older people really like to cut in line. But in America, you can stand feet away from the other person in front of you, and no one's gonna cut you in line. I don't think, it's just not, Americans don't cut people in line. They queue appropriately. And so that has been a reverse culture shock because twice since coming back here, I have found myself standing in line behind someone the Korean way. I'm like, oh, there's my line. So I go and I hop in line and I'm standing there and they're standing there and I'm just like, and then all of a sudden they look at me and they give me this stink eye like, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Why are you so close to me?
And then I'm like, oh yeah. Sorry. So that's awkward.
I think in America, people all have this unspoken personal bubble thing. Like this certain amount of feet.
Yeah.
Like that is totally a thing.
Personal space.
Personal space.
I have not heard that expression literally since we moved to Korea.
Yeah, but it's a thing. Personal space.
Forgot
Every
about
single
that.
human being in America has their personal bubble, and it's like, and if you invade that personal bubble, everyone will know. Like you will know as an invader, and they will know as someone who is having their space invaded, because it's uncomfortable.
So personal space, how much is it in America? Like,
I feel like it's like 2 feet on like all the way around.
if we're in line at the grocery store and you're there, I would be waiting like here.
Yeah, that would be totally normal.
But in Korea, if I don't have a cart, then I'm just right next to you.
Yeah, seriously. Probably like this.
I prefer it like this. See, personal space isn't personal space unless you're willing to get personal with someone.
Let's get personal.
Oh! To wrap this video up, here are a couple of notable mentions.
One of the most obvious is how we instinctively want to bow now. So it's always bowing in all places.
Yeah, and another one is whenever I go to wave at someone, I instinctively do the Korean wave.
2 hands.
2 hands at chest level. Hi!
Another one, which is kind of annoying, is how at restaurants they do not have the little service bell. So when you need the wait staff, press the service bell. Like, ding,
There's no
ding,
bell
you know,
here.
ding ding, beep beep.
Yeah.
Whatever sound effect, something similar to that.
Beep boo.
Ding.
Oh, that was the wrong one.
Hey you!
And lastly, when you're checking out at a cash register, here you have to slide the card yourself, whereas in Korea you hand it to the cashier and they slide it for you.
I always hand it and they're like, you slide it yourself, and I always feel really dumb.
Yeah,
Because
mine's
they never
like-
say it nicely either. They're like, slide there. And I'm just like, throw it away and then run. Like, I give up, I don't want to go grocery shopping anymore.
If you're curious to see what kind of reverse culture shock we experienced on our very first trip back to America, watch this video. Yeah, it's from a year ago. So maybe it's different. Also, don't forget to tell us what kind of reverse culture shock you've experienced in your own life. Leave a comment.
A nice comment, please.
Grace will respond. If it's a mean comment, I will respond.
Yes. Anyways, happy wondering, guys.
Bye!
Bye.